Very good morning, dear students. Welcome to my class. In last class, we started a new chapter, electrostatic potential and capacitance. In that chapter, we studied few fundamental things like electric potential, potential difference, potential energy difference. Along with this, also we derived two derivations, that is electric potential due to an isolated point charge and electric potential due to system of point charge or group of point charges. So, in this class, let us derive one more derivation, that is electric potential at any general point due to an electric dipole. Here one thing you can notice, so we are finding electric potential at any general point. What does it mean? Which means we are finding electric potential neither on axial line nor on equatorial line, which means we are not calculating electric potential on the axial line, even in the equatorial line, somewhere at any general point, neither on axial line nor on equatorial line, in between at any general point due to an electric dipole. Okay. So, last class we derived two derivation, electric potential due to a point charge. So, we got the relation for that is V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R. So, this equation already we derived. This is electric potential due to an isolated point charge. Now, we are talking about electric potential due to an electric dipole. You must know what exactly the electric dipole. About the electric dipole and even equatorial line, axial line, we learnt in the first chapter itself. Electric dipole is nothing but a pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a distance 2a. So, let us consider an electric dipole consists two point charge, negative charge and positive charge, separated by a distance 2a, where O is the midpoint of dipole, and we need to calculate electric potential at a point P is at a distance R from the midpoint O. So, R is distance between OP, and this line makes an angle with axis of dipole. About these two lines you will understand in between the derivation. Okay. Now, electric potential at a point P due to negative charge, electric potential at P due to charge minus Q is given by, we can give a name as V1 is equal to, since electric potential at a point P due to negative charge, I will write negative sign. I am using the same equation, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by the distance between a negative charge and the point P is AP. So, I will write AP, mark it as equation number 1. Next, electric potential at P due to charge plus Q. Electric potential at point P due to positive charge. Let us take V2, since it is positive charge, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, then Q divided by, what is the distance? BP, right, BP. Mark it as equation number 2. So V1 is electric potential at a point P due to negative charge. V2 is electric potential at a point P due to positive charge. Then what is the resultant potential at a point P due to an electric dipole? Resultant potential is nothing but total potential or net potential. Resultant potential at P due to an electric dipole. So to calculate resultant potential at point P, we need to add both V1 plus V2 or V2 plus V1. Resultant potential is V, so V2 plus V1. Then V is equal to, what is V2? We have 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by BP plus, I will open the bracket. Why? Because we have negative sign. What is V1? Minus 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by AP. It become V is equal 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by BP plus into minus 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by AP. Look at this, plus into minus. So here Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught I can take as common. So V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught I have taken common. The remaining thing 1 over BP minus 1 over AP. Mark it as equation number 3. Just we simplify by taking Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught as a common. But the value of BP and AP we don't know. So we have to find the value of AP and BP. To find the value of AP and BP, I draw the line BN perpendicular to OP. To calculate AP and BP, I draw the line BN perpendicular to line OP, and I draw AM perpendicular to OP or PO produced. So these two are the perpendicular lines to calculate BP and AP. Look at this diagram. Here A and M both are very close to each other. I will write here, since A is very close to M. When A is very close to M, we can say AP approximately equal to PM. So I will write here AP approximately equal to PM. Since A is very close to M, we are writing AP approximately equal to PM. And one more thing you can write, AP is equal to PO plus OM. AP is equal to PO plus OM. AP is equal to PO plus OM. So I have written. But PO is equal to what in the diagram? Look at the diagram. What is PO? PO is nothing but what? The distance R. So PO is R. So I'll write AP is equal to R plus OM. But here we don't know the value of OM. To calculate OM, from the right angle triangle AMO, look at this, from the right angle triangle AMO, from right angled triangle AMO. So we are simplifying for cos theta. From the right angle triangle AMO to this angle, this is opposite, this is adjacent, this is hypotenuse. So cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So what is adjacent value we have? OM. What is hypotenuse? OA. Adjacent is OM divided by hypotenuse is OA. Then cos theta is equal to OM divided by OA. Let us simplify this for OM. Then OM is equal to OA cos theta. Just I am taking this side. Then OM is equal to, what is OA in the diagram? Look at the diagram. What is distance OA? The distance OA is nothing but equal to A. So it becomes A cos theta. So OM we got A cos theta. So let us say this equation number 4, then it becomes equation number 5. Now equation 5 in 4, in equation number 4. Then equation number 4 become AP is equal to R plus OM is there. What is OM we got? A cos theta. Say this equation number 6. Similarly, it can be obtained that for BP is equal to R minus A cos theta. Equation number 7. Now equation number 6 and 7 we are going to substitute in equation number 3. Equation 6 and 7 in equation 3. So just we are substituting equation number 6 and 7 in equation number 3. So V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught within a bracket 1 divided by BP. Look at this, 1 divided by BP is there. What is BP? We have R minus A cos theta. I'll write here R minus A cos theta. Then minus is there, minus, then 1 divided by AP. What is AP value? We have R plus A cos theta. R plus A cos theta. So we substituted equation number 6 and 7 in equation number 3. Now again we have to solve by taking LCM. V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 into R plus A cos theta become R plus A cos theta minus 1 into R minus A cos theta. I'll open the bracket, R minus A cos theta divided by R minus A cos theta into R plus A cos theta. Now let us solve the numerator first. V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into r plus a cos theta. Here minus is there, minus into plus, minus r, minus into minus, plus a cos theta divided by r minus a cos theta into r plus a cos theta. Look at this, just we solved the numerator. R plus a cos theta as it is we return. Here minus is there, here plus is there, minus into plus, minus r, minus into minus, plus a into cos theta. Here plus r minus r get cancelled. Now the equation become V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here plus r and minus r get cancelled. The remaining thing a cos theta plus a cos theta. Here r minus a cos theta into r plus a cos theta. From the relation a minus b into a plus b, a square minus b square. So here in the place of a minus b we have r minus a, in the place of a plus b we have r plus a. So it become r square minus a square. Cos theta into cos theta, cos square theta. So r square minus a square cos square theta. So V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught a cos theta plus a cos theta 2a cos theta divided by r square minus a square cos square theta. If the dipole is short, r is very much greater than a, that is a square can be neglected. The remaining thing V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2a cos theta divided by, we neglected the complete term, the remaining is r square. Now what I am doing, the Q is taking to this side. So the equation become V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q 2a cos theta divided by r square. Q into 2a is equal to P, that is electric dipole moment. So equation become V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, in the place of Q 2a I am writing P. So P cos theta divided by r square. So this is the final expression. Case number 1. Suppose instead of finding at any general point what will be the electric potential on an equatorial line or on an axial line. So let us find case number 1. Electric potential at a point on axial line due to electric dipole. Axial line means the line will come here, axial line. So if you consider an axial line, the theta is 0 degree. In this case theta is 0. Why? Because the line what we are taking, that is along the axis of the dipole. In this case theta is equal to 0 degree. So when theta is equal to 0 degree, according to this equation, V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P cos 0 degree divided by R square. Cos 0 is 1, the remaining is V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square. So this is the expression. Case number 2, electric potential at a point on equatorial line due to an electric dipole. Let us check it out for electric potential at a point on equatorial line. Equatorial line is nothing but what? The line perpendicular to the axis of the dipole. In this case, theta is equal to 90 degree. Cos 90 degree is equal to 0. So according to this equation, V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P into 0 divided by R square. So in case of equatorial line, electric potential is 0. Just now we derived an expression for electric potential at any general point due to an electric dipole. In the last class we derived electric potential due to an isolated point charge. Then what is the difference between electric potential due to an isolated point charge and electric potential due to an electric dipole? Look at these 2 points, you will understand something. Electric potential due to an isolated point charge, we got the expression like this: V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R, whereas electric potential due to an electric dipole, we got V is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta divided by R square. So what is the difference? One thing you can notice, in both the cases the electric potential, it depends on distance. In case of isolated point charge, it varies inversely to the distance. In this case also it varies inversely to the distance, but square is there. So in case of electric dipole, is not only depends on the distance, also depends on angle between the position vector and the axis of dipole. So this is the difference between electric potential due to an isolated point charge and electric potential due to an electric dipole. Let us see the variation of electric potential due to an isolated point charge and an electric dipole with distance through the graph. Look at this graph. Along x-axis we have a distance, along y-axis we have a electric potential. Here the yellow curve represents electric potential due to an isolated point charge, whereas the blue curve represents electric potential due to an electric dipole. Look at the variation of electric potential. So in case of point charge, it varies inversely to the distance, whereas in case of electric dipole, it varies inversely to the square of the distance. So only we will get the graph like this. So in this class we studied electric potential at any general point due to an electric dipole. In the next class we will discuss a new concepts. Until then, take care, have a nice day, thank you.